be here today. My name is Christoph Thuemmler. I'm from Edinburgh University, and I'm also linked to the Technical University in Munich. And I'm the technical lead of the FI-STAR project. And Peter has already spoken about that. This is a project that is looking into health and well-being. And we are phase 2 project. And we are now basically past the first year, so to say. And I will not speak about the technological details so much, but I'm trying to give you a view or a little bit of a teaser or a taster on all the things that are waiting to be done with new technologies. And frankly, there is a lot. Now, very quickly and very briefly, I mean, you're all aware of that, you know. I mean, what I brought you here is on the left side, you have this kind of demographic situation that you had 100 years ago here in Europe, that you only have in developing countries. We don't have that anymore. We are in a situation where we have what you can see here on the right side. That is the German population pyramid of 2013, and this is why we are in a big turnaround process in the healthcare industry. And you can see that here. This is how the population will evolve and develop over the next 200 years. So we will getting far more people that are 60 and over. We will get less younger people. And of course, this has a price. This is a price we have to pay. I mean, this is something which is a very important slide. You can see actually that the share, the health share of the GDP is growing faster than the GDP. And this is one of the biggest challenges that we are seeing in the moment, and this is where a lot of opportunities can arise. And if you see that, this are the projected healthcare costs in Germany, and you can see in 2006 this was 330 billion, not million. In 2011, 360, and 2020 is a projected overall budget of 550 billion. And if you think this is a lot, then look at this. This is the situation in China, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the situation in the United States. So there are massive markets growing, massive markets. And here you now are thinking, yeah, it's because all the medication are getting so expensive. But this is the interesting bit, because this is not the case. Medication are actually getting cheaper. We are seeing here that the overall budget, the demands, they will grow. Medication costs are coming down. People actually don't have to spend that much on medication. But what they will need in the future, and not only patients, but organizations, governments, public bodies, and so forth, they will need software tools, they will need new IT instruments to monitor people's conditions, to help to manage people's conditions. Because we will not be able to continue in the healthcare business as we did so far. We are in need of virtualization. Now, how do we get that virtualization? I mean, we will need an awful lot of new services, technologies, software. Exactly the kinds of things that we are in the process of developing with FIVA, or the FI-PPP project. Now, of course, this is nothing that will go in a day, and especially in the healthcare domain, this will not be easy. But I think it's an incredible opportunity. So the healthcare market is an extremely good example for a domain with a need that is actually defined by the facts that I showed you before. And I believe that the technology, such as FI-PPP, can perfectly satisfy these kind of requirements, not only in Europe, because I think this is actually the market where we will see the success at least. First, there will be huge interest, and we heard that already, Mexico, South America, China, America, all of these are markets with a huge, huge value that can actually be tapped into. I'm not going to speak about generic enablers. Stefano Panfidis has just been elected chair of the steering board committee. You see on the left side all the projects. And the generic enablers, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it. It's a kind of Lego building block platform, and if we get it right, then we will be able to do magnificent things with it. A little bit about the innovation in the healthcare domain. Health was a little bit of a difficult approach, because you heard that before. FI-PPP in the first place was aiming at services, any kind of service that you can build in a modern service infrastructure, and all of this looks great. But healthcare has always been a little bit more difficult. There is a lot of privacy issues and security issues and safety issues and so forth. Also, we have problems with litigation. Who is responsible for these kind of services?
Can I ask a question? How much of this, is this...
Can we do that later?
Yeah, but I mean, to what extent is this open source? Is it open source or is it not open source?
Yeah, but when we start this discussion now, then I'm afraid we're not getting anywhere. So maybe let me just finish it, and later on we have the panel discussion.
Fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
No worries. So basically, we have to think of a couple of very special and more complex strategies to get in healthcare where we want to be. And so we created this kind of model of software to data paradigm, which will help us. I mean, this is work in progress. So this will help us actually to carry this FI-PPP technology into the health domain, a domain that would not be able to accept the technology as it was initially thought of. But, and this is the purpose of projects like FISTAR, to take the technology that came down from phase 1 and see what can we do with that. And the message that I can actually give you is that it can work in the health domain. It is not straightforward, but there are ways, and we are working on these ways. There's a lot of things. I mean, you just saw this. This is basically a cloud model that we could use, where we reverse some processes in order to adjust it to the legal and ethical requirements. But there are also very new technologies, or maybe not so new, maybe a new label, but that go beyond the cloud, that might be of great interest, and we are working on structures and strategies to embrace these new technologies, to introduce FI-PPP into this new kind of area, to have really an ecosystem that goes across all the domains and also across the different kind of areas that are of interest in connection with this technology, as there is 5G, as there is mHealth, as there is the Internet of Things, as Peter said already. Now, finally, because I think my 10 minutes are almost absorbed, I want to grab the opportunity to highlight again the event on the 17th and the 18th of September, which will be taking place in Munich. Technical University of Munich will be involved in this as well. And I would really like to add to Peter's invitation, my personal invitation, come to Munich, have a look. The accelerator projects, the phase 3 projects will be there. They will be taking center stage. The phase 2 projects will be there. FIVA will be there. So you can get all the information you can hope for from all different sides, all different angles, all different dimensions. And I think it is really an event, it will be an event worthwhile going there. Finally, a couple of challenges. What is lying ahead of us? Where is it that we are going to work from the perspective of the healthcare domain and FI-PPP? And I made a brief list here. I mean, I heard initially that the slides will go out. So these are the thoughts that we have in the moment. These are the kind of problems we want to tackle and we hope to tackle in a way that the technology is becoming suitable for the healthcare domain. Because yes, we have the ethical problems. Yes, we have legal problems in the sense of matters that need to be addressed. But also, we need to look into network coverage, the next generation, 5G. We need to look into what kind of frameworks can be used, interoperability, which comes a little bit out of the IoT domain. All of these things need to be considered in order to make this whole structure suitable for the healthcare domain. Thank you very much.